All right, everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and I don't know if you paid attention, but Hertz stock through the roof, right? So many people sent me messages. I don't know why I bothered looking. Like, if I just waited for people to start flooding my inbox with, dude, this is the greatest thing ever, then I probably would have made more money because I sold out. I sold out all my Hertz position. I did that. It went, and here's why, right? Because at the end of the day, there is a risk involved here. I was a long-term play on it. But when you go from like, you know what, I'm okay losing $1,000 for the potential upside, I was expecting that to go much longer. The fact that the stock shot up so quickly after they announced bankruptcy, and when I say so quickly, like 800% after they announced bankruptcy, that doesn't make sense, right? I was into it for them to come out of bankruptcy and do all this stuff and go up. But this is all noise. This is all fluff. This isn't like the stock regaining momentum for anything other than a bunch of people being like, let's buy some of that. And that's the problem. And that's where I think it's a false mark right now. And that's why anyone that reached out to me, I said, look, $5, $6 a share. It was at 60 cents, right? My average was $2.40 a share. When I saw it at $3.40 a share, I sold half the position. I'm like, you know what? Like, this is nonsense. Why did it just go from whatever, 125 to 340 a share in a day? Just sell off half, I'll ride the rest. So I'll like mitigate my loss. Then it's up to 370 a share. I'm like, all right, sell another 25%. What the hell? And then it was at like 440 a share while I'm having lunch. I'm like, this makes no sense. The thing just went from it started the day at 260 a share to 440 a share. It almost doubled in the last 2 or 3 hours. I sold off the rest of the position at $4.40 a share. Then I ultimately checked back after lunch. It was up to $6 a share. $6, it just went from $2.60 to $6. That makes no sense, right? I attribute that. There's no news that came out. I'm like looking. I'm like, did something happen? What am I missing? Why did they announce that they've come out of bankruptcy? Nothing. So anytime somebody's like, oh my God, we just and there's guys that made tons of money. I'm like super happy for all of you guys that made a lot of money because of my mentioning Hertz stock, but I'm also a little scared that you guys are actually listening to me for stock picks because I'm like the gambler. I told you why I bought it, but that's my money. It's cool if we're all making money, but I don't want you guys to lose money on my behalf. So and again, I don't know anything about it. I don't have any information that would give me hey, wink, wink, you may want to buy that. I'm not Martha Stewart. So here I am saying, buy this because, or here's why I'm buying this. And look, it's a long shot. It was a home run ball. It was an absolute swinging for the fences. Who knows what the hell is going to happen? But it sort of worked out. And I've made several $1,000s. And I was like, you know what? I'll take it. I would have rode that position long and I may still buy in. But the fact that everybody, it's almost like Vegas is sort of closed and there's no sports to gamble on. So everyone's just sitting at home being like, let's play it in the market. And these Hertz stocks and other bankrupt stocks look like they may be ripe targets. Because who wants to go buy one share of Amazon for $2,500 when they can go buy 2,500 shares of Hertz? That seems like a much better play, right? Because if you buy 2,500 shares or whatever, 4,000 shares and they go up 20 cents a share, you made a lot of money. And it just psychologically, people like to buy volume like that. And it was all over the place. Buying, selling, trading halted, everything like that. I got out at a reasonable enough clip. I mean, I probably got out about 80 a share off of 240. So it's great. It's like a great short position for a week. I wanted to go long on it, but I have no idea what the hell's going on with it. And all the reasons that I explained as far as buying it for the long term were based on the company's ability to weather the economic climate and come out of bankruptcy stronger or have a staying power or have a saleability in the industry. When the stock starts jumping around for no reason, it's like Bitcoin. It's like, I don't understand it. I'm glad I made a couple of bucks off of it, but I don't want to, this isn't the ride that I got on, right? This is something else. So I took the opportunity, I sold out. I suggested everyone else do the same. There's guys that bought in at 60, 70, 80 cents that sold it over $5 a share. I commend you guys. If I waited and read my DMs about Hertz, awesome, 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 my tweets, my DMs, all that stuff, if I waited to that, I would have sold in the fives. Instead, I sold morning of for $3.40 a share, and then $3.70 a couple hours later, and then $4.40 a couple hours after that. And I missed the real peak, but I think it's all fake. It's like my position in Hertz was almost as long as my poison ivy. And this, I got poison ivy. No fun, right? Like poison ivy, it's like you want to itch it, and you take a shower, and it's like you just want to scratch your skin off. And it's like right below my sleeve, so if my sleeve hits it, not cool. But anyway, if you're still in Hertz, don't ride it long term. There's no reason to do so now. At the very least, if you don't cash out now, at least cash out your original position. Even if you're like, well, I just put whatever, I put $500 in, it's up to 4,000. Get your $500 back. So now you're playing with just the house money. If it turns into nothing, great. If it turns into something, then even better. But take that money that you put in, so you're not risking any of your own money, and that's going to be the best play on Hertz. Again, no idea. Avis stock is up 30% because there is an indication that people are going to start traveling again. Demand for cars are going to turn up again. But there's nothing that says the stock should jump 800%, right? I think that's a lot of like Robinhood, these investors just going out and willy-nilly. There's no justification for it. That's why I cashed out. That's why you should probably cash out. If it drops down again, take some of those profits. You could buy more shares, ride them. That's what I'm going to do. I've shifted my focus to other stuff right now, but Hertz, and we don't know. There may be somebody that knows something, and that guy may have bought a bunch of shares, and that may have driven some interest. That's not what I'm seeing. It looks like a whole bunch of like retail investors just taking the gamble. I guarantee it's not all because of people watching my videos, but the guys that made money in it, yes, go buy a t-shirt or something like that. I'm glad you guys all made money. If you did well enough, come on adventure drives. That's the ultimate story. The one guy's like, I made a lot of money. I'm like, you know what? Buy an adventure drive spot in Scotland this year. So you could tell the story, even if like nothing more. You got the story about how you took whatever, $1,000, threw it into Hertz, and ended up going to Scotland and doing a week trip in Scotland with a bunch of other car guys. That could be a pretty good use of that $1,000, because now you get your $1,000 back and a free awesome trip to Scotland. That's worth the story alone. So again, don't Rob Ferretti, not stock guy. I'm not Jim Cramer. I'm not throwing bulls and bears around. I'm not slamming buttons. I don't know anything. I'm just like, I legitimately like, I can go through my entire stock portfolio. There's not much rhyme or reason to it. I'll tell you guys every stock, and I'll even let you tell me what you disagree or don't disagree. I sold my Porsche stock. I sold my Uber stock. I sold them both at a loss. But I sold them because I don't think Porsche Uber are going to do very much in the next 6 to 12 months. So I want to move it into companies that I do think would be more apt for growth in this time. Again, I'm weird, man. Don't take investing advice from me. I'm glad those of you who did listen and saw the logic that I was using and said, I agree with that logic and I'm going to go with it. That's great, but don't take my stock tips for anything more than Rob just yapping. All right? So my wallet doesn't hurt anymore, and that's good. And I'm glad you guys made money as well. That makes me feel good inside. But at the end of the day, if you would have lost money and everyone's like, oh God, I bought Hertz because of you, and now I lost money, I would have felt a little bad when I specifically add the disclaimer not to do that. Rob Ferretti, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. So you guys are familiar with my other company, Adventure Drives, right? Well, this year we've got 2 trips coming up. One, which is starting in Seattle and ending in Jackson Hole in July. That's going up through the Canadian Rockies, coming down through Banff, Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, and Grand Teton National Park. It's going to be phenomenal. Also, we're going to be going to Scotland in October. We're going to be doing Scotch distilleries, playing golf at St. Andrews if you want to do that, walking around, seeing lakes, waterfalls, driving the North Coast. It's going to be an amazing trip. Prices start as low as $2,500 per person for the shorter trip in Scotland, about double that for the longer trip in July. If you're interested in going, check out the link in the description.